we purchased this home 5 years ago, I knew that eventually I would want to transform my kitchen from a dark, enclosed area into a light, bright, open space, better suited for our family and to be able to accommodate large gatherings. The bones of this space are fantastic. I love the size, and all of the windows in this space bring in a tremendous amount of light. The literal elephant in the room that was blocking the kitchen from being a lot more light and bright was the wall. This wall separated the kitchen from the family room, and it caused this space to feel cramped, enclosed, and dark. The flow was also off because there was one entryway into this entire kitchen, and it was just wide enough for one person to single file squeeze through the entrance. The original countertops, the cabinetry, and the light fixtures were all dark, and the design style was a little eclectic. We had some modern elements with the hood, we had some traditional elements with the cabinetry, we had some Mediterranean influences on the backsplash. It was just a hodgepodge of a whole bunch of different styles, and I did not love any of them. So after consulting with a contractor, a licensed electrician, and a licensed plumber, I put on my big girl pants, grabbed a crowbar, and started taking down the wall. The minute that wall came down, the entire feeling of this space changed. The other major layout change that we made was there was this raised bar that did a U semicircle that again blocked off the flow in this kitchen, and the raised bar made it feel more cramped. So we took that down and decided to do 2 islands. The double islands are so fantastic. It has just made the flow in this space so much more accommodating. We can fit so many people in here now, and no one feels cramped. So this first island, I decided to have my sink in. We did have to change the plumbing, which was a bit of a headache, and in the process had to sledgehammer through the concrete in order to move the pipes, but hey, you know, I'm happy with the location that it's at now. We decided to go with a gold bridge faucet. It's very traditional. I love the way that it looks in this space. And then we also did a single bowl sink. I've never had a single bowl sink before. I've always had the divided. What a game changer. I can fit huge pans in here. I can put my crock pot. I can put all kinds of things I've never been able to do before. Wash everything at one time. I love this single bowl sink. Right here, I have a hidden garbage can that you can just slide right out. One thing that we did have to keep was this beam. It would have cost me a ridiculous amount of money to do a new beam across the top. So guess what? This is my new best friend. We're keeping this beam, and I actually don't mind it. It's a beautiful architectural detail. I was able to trim it out in some gorgeous crown molding and make it a standout piece. Another thing about this island that I absolutely love is when I look at it from the family room, I can see this beautiful boxed out moldings on the front. It was drywall before, and by adding some trim, some wood pieces, and then painting it white, it made a huge difference. It contributes to the overall luxurious feeling of the kitchen. I wrapped the trim on the 3 sides of this island, and it finishes off this island beautifully. One of the first things I did when we moved into our house was I switched our single oven into double ovens. We cook a lot, we have a large family. So I'm using these Viking ovens again. And what I did above these ovens is I added a mirrored cabinet front. We have a lot of glass in this space, and I didn't want to keep this white, and I thought, what can I do to make it really stand out? Mirrors are perfect. It reflects light back into the room. It also reflects the gorgeous chandeliers, and it adds a little bit of sparkle. One of my favorite aspects about this new kitchen is this giant entranceway. The kitchen before had a teeny tiny little walkway to get into the kitchen. Now we have this huge space. This right here is actually a congregation area. When people walk into the kitchen, they stop here, they can take it all in, and then they can walk into the kitchen. Whereas before, there was a long hallway and it really was not very welcoming. This huge opening is the exact opposite. It invites people to come in and enjoy the space. Another thing is, it is a beautiful way to view the space. As you walk in, your eye goes directly to the island, to the breakfast chandelier, and straight out to the pool. This center island is a dream. It is absolutely huge. It is over 9 feet long. And let me tell you, I just had my first party and we had over 40 ladies here. It was perfect. I put a huge spread of all kinds of tasty food and people were able to get on either side of the island. The flow during the party was absolutely fantastic. People could come in and out of the kitchen so easily. And while they were here getting their food, they didn't miss any of the excitement over there. Why? Because that wall was down. So I just cannot wait to do more entertaining in this space, especially with this island. Now on this lower portion of the island, I have the seating area. It's large enough that it can accommodate 4 bar stools. And then on the opposite side, I have my microwave. It's actually hidden inside of the cabinetry. I personally don't like to look at my microwave, so having it be in there is a perfect spot. And another thing that we should mention is the quartz. I cannot even tell you how many stone yards I went to looking for this specific quartz. It was like a bad game of hide and seek, but I finally found it. The reason why it took me so long was because in my mind, I had a very specific style that I was going for. I have a lot of gold in here, but I also have grays. So I needed a quartz that had both. And the Calcutta quartz that I chose has both of the gray and the gold veining. So it ties in the gold pot filler, it ties in the gold from the chandelier, it ties in the stainless steel appliances with the gray, and I just absolutely love the way it looks. Another wonderful thing about this was there is only one spot that has a seam and it's around the beam. So everywhere else in this space, there is no seams whatsoever, so I do not have to worry about cleaning a little grout line. And finally, I decided to go with 2 pendant lights above the island to bring in extra light. I love the lantern look of these. They're oversized, which is great for this space, and it draws your eye in while giving off a lot of light. These tall cabinets are one of my favorite features about this kitchen. Originally, I was gonna go with regular size cabinets and then just add a glass cabinet above. But the more I looked at it, I thought if I run a large cabinet all the way to the ceiling with thick crown molding at the top, it would be beautiful. And it's something original. I don't see that very often. And so this is a beautiful piece that is really a standout feature in this kitchen. I did a glass front and then I added a small trim piece and painted it gold. I love this gold accent. It's just what these cabinets needed to make them a little more unique, but also it ties in, again, all the gold that we have around our kitchen. Inside of the cabinets, I have some tempered glass shelves. The reason I went with the tempered glass is because I wanted the light to be able to shine all the way down to the bottom shelf and illuminate everything that was inside. So speaking of illumination, I added some lighting to the inside of each one of my cabinets. Again, it brightens up and highlights all of these wonderful pieces that I have inside. It also contributes to the overall light and bright feeling of the room. This lighting is beautiful at night. Oh, it just makes this kitchen shine, and I am so happy that we did this. large lucite pulls with a gold detail. And on the lower cabinets, I added that same pull in a smaller size, and the knobs are crystal and gold. The centerpiece to this entire kitchen is this hood. I kept the lines clean to coordinate with the rest of the cabinetry. I love the size and the scale of this hood, took it all the way to the ceiling, and it really is a beautiful focal point for this space. The paint that I chose on all of my cabinetry is a Behr Polar White paint. Now, as you remember, the cabinetry before was really dark. I kept all of the lower cabinetry that was previously there, and I painted it in this Polar Behr paint. It was probably one of the hardest things that I had to do because we crud cutted it, we sanded it, and then we painted it, and we actually did 5 coats of paint. I used a paint sprayer so that we would get a smooth, professional finish. If you are looking to save money on a kitchen renovation, using your existing cabinetry is a great way to do that. The Backsplash is like the little black dress of this space. It's a gorgeous neutral backdrop that really makes everything else shine. This tile is from Floor & Decor, and I have a video where I did the selection process and how to install it. I ran this marble tile from the countertop all the way to the ceiling to make this space feel large. The coordinating piece to my faucet is this pot filler. A pot filler is a great way to fill up a large stock pot easily. That way you're not hauling pots and pans all over the place because the island separates the stovetop from the sink. This is a great way to fill up my pots and pans without having to schlep that pot of water all over the kitchen. It also acts as a center point so that your eye is drawn directly to the stove. To beautify the mundane fridge area, I added some upper cabinets with the same glass fronts and glass shelving. I added a sconce on either side of this cabinet. The mirrored back is so reflective, and I love the light that it adds. My favorite part is we took advantage of a small space to the right of the fridge. I had my electrician add an outlet so we can hide all of those pesky phone cords. I love the way that this surround looks. It's elegant and classy. To go along with my kitchen renovation, I decided that I needed to renovate the breakfast area as well. I have a gorgeous new chandelier there. The teardrop crystals are so beautiful. I swapped out the drapes and the curtain rods and added a new centerpiece. If you want to see that video, I will leave a link in my description box. But I love how when you walk into the room, your eye just is drawn straight through the kitchen to the breakfast area out to the pool. And this chandelier that's above the breakfast table helps to draw your eye through the space. I am absolutely in love with the finished product. Was it a lot of work? Absolutely. Did I want to quit? Several times. I thought it was crazy. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't change it for anything. It was definitely all worth it. I now have a beautiful space that I can call my own. I am so excited to start decorating the space for the changing holidays and seasons, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of those decorating ideas. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.